Okay, so for this unit, we are talking about comparing. So we're going to look at example 1 while we go through. So our answers are going to be the letters. Okay? Both parabolas open the same direction. How do you know what direction a parabola opens, if it's going up or down? Your A value. So we're looking at our A values. If you want to write this down like this is A values, you might want to do this to remind yourself. So if your A values are both positive, they'd both be opening up. If they're both negative, they're both opening down. So would you say that both of these open in the same direction? Yes. So we're going to write A. Okay, so A is part of our answer. Then we need to go through here. On B, it says the parabolas have the same, it's not supposed to be faux, it's of. Line of symmetry. Okay. Now, how do you know what the line of symmetry is? The x value of the... Thank you. We should know this. Okay, so for our f of x equation, what is my vertex? Is there anything being added with the squared, the x squared? Is there any x value with there? So the x is 0 and the y is -4. For my g of x equation, my vertex is what?
0.
Very good. Okay, so let's go back up to B again. And it says the parabolas have the same line of symmetry. So that means they need to have the same x value of the vertex. Would we say that's true or false? True. So we're going to also put B as part of our answer. Okay, then we go to C. The parabolas have the same vertex. Do these have the same vertex? No, they don't. So C is not the answer. Okay? Now D and E go together. It can either be one of them or none of them. So both parabolas have maximums or both parabolas have minimums. What do you guys think? If these are negative and the graph is going down, do they have maximums or minimums? Do they both have maximums? Yes. Okay? Because they're both going down, so they both have maximums. So D is part of our answer. Then we go to F, G, and H. All of these go together. It can only be one of them or none of them. Okay? Now, do you guys remember what I told you? It's back in some previous notes, but what makes a wider graph?
Fraction.
Fraction in front, okay? So if you want to write that, fractions are wider, okay? Which means that the bigger the whole number, the more narrow it is, okay? The smaller the fraction, the wider it is, okay? So bigger numbers, narrow, smaller fractions, wider. Okay. If the numbers in the front are exactly the same, that means they have the exact same width. So what is it going to be? F. That is your answer. That's it.
So you told me for A, B, D, F, and that's my answer.
Yes. Okay. No, this will be written down, and so you're just going to go through and pick which ones are true. So let's try example 2. Okay, I'm not going to move this up because we need to look at these right now. Okay, so on example 2, let's go through the list again. A, both parabolas open the same direction. No, because one is a negative and one is a positive. So we're not going to write A down this time. B, the parabolas have the same line of symmetry. Well, how do we check for that? Your vertex. You need the x of the vertex, but let's go ahead and write our vertexes. Okay, so for my f of x equation, what is my vertex? 4, 3 is correct. For my g of x equation, what is my vertex? 4, 3. Okay, so do they have the same line of symmetry?
Yes.
So B is part of my answer.
The line of symmetry is the x value?
I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I'm going to give you about a minute to go through the rest of the list. When you get whatever you think the answer is, just write those letters on your whiteboards and show me, and I'll tell you if you are correct. Perfect. Good. No. Yes. No. No. Good. You're missing one. You have one too many. You've got it. F is not correct. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. F is not correct. You've got it. You've got it. Jessica, good? Good? E is not part of it. Good. 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 Okay, so as we're going through this, we already did B. C, the parabolas have the same vertex. Do these have the exact same vertex? Yes, so that means that C is also part of the answer. It says both have maximums or both have minimums. These are going opposite directions. So it's not D or E. Does that make sense? They have to both be going the same direction, and they're not. Okay, so now we're looking at F, G, and H. Okay, you can only choose either F or G or H or none of them. Okay, so this says the parabolas have the same widths. Are these the exact same numbers in front? No. Okay, and we said that fractions are wider. So that means which one's wider, F of X or G of X? F of X has the fraction, so F of X is wider. So if we go here, F of X parabola is wider. So that means G. And that's your answer. Okay, yes?
So if you have fx, then it has plus 2 with the x negative 4 to the second power plus 3. And you have the g as the same. I don't know. If you have a move on
I don't think that would happen. You're not going to see it like that. They're going to be separated. The only thing that you might have to do is find your vertex where it's like x squared plus x minus 5. You know what I mean? Where you have to do the negative b over 2a. But that's all that you'll have to do. You won't have to like move things from opposite sides. Okay, All right, example 3 now is totally different. Okay. On example 3, again, I'm talking, so you're not. The revenue R made selling widgets at price P can be modeled by R equals negative 5P squared plus 100P. What I like to do is change this to be Y equals negative 5X squared plus 100X. Because I just feel like X's and Y's make more sense to me. I understand which one's going up and down and right and left and so on. On A, it says what price. Do you think price is going to be P or R? P, which means you're going to be dealing with the X or the Y? X. Okay? Here it says revenue, which is R, which is going to be the Y. So on this, in order to find out, it says what price will maximize the company's revenue. That is going to be the X value of the vertex. This is going to be the Y value of the vertex. Now, is this written in vertex form?
No.
How do we find the vertex? X equals negative b over 2a. What is my a value? No. Negative 5. What is my b value? 100. What is my c value? Okay. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds here to find your x value of the vertex. Okay, so if you got the answer of 10 for the x value of the vertex, you are correct. If you didn't, watch what I'm doing. If you did, still watch what I'm doing. So negative b is the opposite of what b is. So it's going to be what? Negative 100 over 2 times, and my a value is negative 5. Negative 100 over negative 10. A negative divided by a negative makes a positive. You can cancel out 0 for zeros on the top and the bottom, and you get the answer of 10. So on A, it is going to be 10. How do I find B? Plug 10 into your original equation for x. So we have y equals negative 5 times 10 squared plus 100 times 10. So when we do this, remember you always do exponents first. So 10 squared is 100. Negative 5 times 100 is plus, what is 100 times 10? 1,000.
The B portion, right?
And negative 500 plus 1,000 is positive 500. Right? Sign of the bigger number. And that's your answer. Questions?
When we plug x back in as 0, that's only to find the y-intercept, right?
It's the y value of the vertex. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because I remember we would plug in x as 0.
Oh, if you plug in 0, yes. When you're doing that, that's to find the y-intercept, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do we write it like 10, 5, 10, 500?
Yeah, so the answer for A is 10, and the answer for B is 500. If you're writing it as a vertex, it would be 10, 500.
We don't write it as vertical, we just like write it as something.
Yeah, you're just answering those questions. Any other questions about this? Okay, so that ends this lesson.